Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge versus the HTC One M9. Now, keep in mind, there's no win or loser. There's no right or wrong. This is just my personal opinion after using both of these phones for a couple of weeks now. And the point of this video is to help you out when you're buying your next phone. Okay, so what I did was I made up about 15 categories, and I'm going to tell y'all which phone fits better in that category to me. Okay, so let's get right into it. Now, real quick also, whenever I mention the S6 Edge, I'm also talking about the Galaxy S6, unless we're talking about curved display or some of these little features that work with the curved screen. Other than that, basically the same exact phone. Okay? First, the price. Which one has a better price? Okay, so you got $750 for the S6 Edge, and you got $650 for the M9. So do the math. The M9 wins in that category. Now, you're going to pay an extra $100 if you want the S6 Edge. Is it worth it? First, I didn't really think it was worth it, but after using the phone for a couple of weeks, I got to change that. It's definitely worth it to me. I'm having a lot of fun with the Edge. It's a really flashy phone, so it's definitely worth it. Now, if we're talking about S6 versus M9, then it's a tie. Both of them the same price. Okay, so price goes to the HTC One M9. Y'all know whenever you save $1, that's a win in my book. So you save some money behind the M9. Next, the build. Which phone has the better build quality? Now, everybody knows HTC has always been one of my favorite built phones, especially the M7, the M8, and the M9. But I got to give it to Samsung on this one. The build on the S6 Edge is terrific. And I'm going to go a step further and say that I actually like the build on the S6 the best out of anything. Now, if you get a chance and you go in the store, hold the S6 Edge and the S6 in your hand, and you'll know what I'm talking about. The S6 Edge is a little bit more sharper when you're holding it in your hand. That's a positive and a negative. All right, it's a little bit sharper, but with that being said, when you're holding it in your hand, you're going to feel that edge on your thumb, and you're going to feel it in your fingers. It just feels great. All right, it feels great. So when I'm going with build quality, I'm going with the S6 as my new favorite built phone. Now, the M9 is no slouch. This is definitely my second favorite built phone. All right, so you got 1 and 2 sitting right in front of you on the table. But if I got to pick one, and you can only pick one, when it comes to build, I'm going with the S6 Edge. Now, keep in mind, hit me up in the comments, every category that we go through. If y'all agree with me, let me know y'all agree. If y'all disagree, let me know which phone you think is the best built phone. All right, this is an open discussion here, okay? Next, the display. Now, y'all know I hate talking about specs. I already reviewed both of these phones. We already went through the specs and all that. We're not going to do that. We're talking about real-world usage. When you go in your pocket and you pull out your phone, you put them on the table, and you're just looking at them with the naked eye, which one has the better display? So what I did was I got the brightness turned up on both of these, and I don't know if it's obvious through the camera, but in my personal opinion, the Galaxy S6 Edge has the best display on the market. Not only between this and the M9, but basically everything else that's out. Everything else that I got in my pocket, everything else that I got in the house, the Galaxy S6 Edge has the best display. And y'all know how I feel about Super AMOLED displays. And y'all see I like to rock the black backgrounds. It just looks so much better. The colors pop out at you. Everything looks bright. Now, some say it's kind of cartoonish if you put them side by side. You see, look at Instagram. You see more of the colors. It's just a more bright and vibrant display. All right, so if I had to pick one, I'm going with the S6 Edge as the best display. Next, battery. Which one has a better battery? Now, both of these phones, the battery, I have to say, is kind of suspect on both of them. Neither one of these phones I could get a full 8-hour day out of on beast mode. Now, if I'm going on, if I'm just chilling out, and I'm not going to be trolling Instagram all day, I'm not going to be beasting on Facebook and Twitter, I can make both of these phones last 8 hours, and both of them do have power saving and ultra power saving and all that stuff. You could do all those battery saving, tips and tricks if you want. But if you're just going to wake up in the morning, go on beast mode at work, that means Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, especially YouTube, watching videos, streaming Amazon Music through your Bluetooth headset at the same time. Neither one of these phones is going to last you all day. But I will say that I'm getting better battery life with the HTC One M9. Okay, and this is with no battery saving trips. Screen is, I wouldn't say maximum brightness. Both, I'll leave the screen when I'm inside, about 70%. I go outside, maximum brightness. Now I know people say why put the phone on maximum brightness, it's gonna kill the battery. But if I pay $700 for a phone or $750, when I'm looking at the phone, I want to see the full screen in all its bright, beautiful glory. I don't want to be squinting looking at words. I don't care. I can recharge the battery. So I leave my phones up on maximum brightness. And I will say that the HTC One M9, I'm getting better battery life. Next, speakers. Which phone has the better speakers and the better speaker placement? Well, that's clearly a no-brainer. Okay, now this is one category that HTC wins all the time. Speakers on the front. All right, speakers on the front, dual speakers, top and bottom. So when you have the phone sideways and you're watching videos that have good sound to them, you'll hear sound coming from different sides. Okay, so without a doubt, the speakers on the M9 are definitely better. Don't get me wrong, the S6 and the S6 Edge, Samsung definitely stepped their game up. The speakers are louder, and they took them off the back and put them on the bottom now. But we can only pick one, and the M9 wins landslide. All right, straight landslide on this one, especially when you're listening to music. Now, I know you got all your Bluetooth speakers and Bluetooth headphones and all that, but if you're still one of those people that like to just put the phone on a little dock or something and play music at work, you're going to have a better experience with the HTC One M9. Trust me on that one. Next, now this is important, the camera. Which phone has a better camera? And this is another landslide right here. The Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge, best cameras in the game right now to me. Now, we're not talking about with the Windows phones and the Nokia phones with the 56 megapixels and all that. I'm talking about between just the major heavy hitters that's out right now. Apple, Samsung, HTC, Motorola. This is the best camera right now I got on the S6 Edge. Now, I actually just did a camera test. Shout out to my man Dom. We did a live camera test with a G4, a S6, and an M9. And the S6 took the best picture. And this was at night in a bar. We took a picture of a candle on the table. The picture came out beautiful on the S6, came out great on the G4, and the HTC One M9, it was trash. Now, this is post-update. This is after the update. Remember when I did the real review for the HTC One M9 and I was kind of bashing the camera a little bit? Literally the very next day, they did the update and the camera improved with the autofocus and all of that. But still, low light settings, the HTC One camera is not that great. Okay, I said trash. As a matter of fact, I'm sticking to my guns. It's trash. All right, compared to using the S6 and compared to using the Nexus 6 and the Note 4, other phones that's on the market that you could buy right now, the M9 camera doesn't cut it. Okay, now if you're in broad daylight and, bright sunny day, yeah, both cameras are going to take great pictures, but you're going to see better results with your S6 Edge and your S6. Trust me on that. Next, now this is kind of important to some people, removable storage. Which phone has removable storage and which wins in that department? Landslide, okay? Landslide. There's no removable storage on your S6 or your S6 Edge, and there's one on the M9. So what that means is, if you buy a 32 gig S6 Edge, like I got right here, if I load it down with a whole bunch of media and apps and a whole bunch of stuff, that's it. I'm gonna have to start deleting stuff to add more stuff. Now, if you got an M9, you pop out that micro SD card and you pop another one in, and you got all your movies, all your music. You don't have to worry about cloud storage and all of that. Removable storage is a go. All right, now, I know these phones coming out, removable storage is pretty much getting phased out. If you notice, a lot of phones don't have that anymore. So they kind of phasing it out because they want everything up in the cloud. But if you're old school like me, you want to have 10 different micro SD cards and you want to just pop them in. Now, I know you could get these little card adapter readers and plug them in the bottom and all of that. Look, we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who just has the phone in their hand. They don't have one of those and they have a micro SD card. What you're going to do with it? You're going to put it in your M9. So the M9 wins in that department. Next, the UI. Okay, which phone has a better user interface? Now, this is up for debate. Everybody knows I'm a Sense lover. Okay, now I like TouchWiz, but I'm going to have to go with HTC Sense. HTC Sense has always been one of my favorite UIs, especially with the weather animations. Let's do a quick demo. I love looking at this. Let's do a quick demo with the weather animations and the sound. This is the thunderstorms, cloudy days. You got fog. Now, let me shut up for a second. Listen closely to the sounds. That's when it's baking hot outside. Okay, you got clouds, more clouds, partly sunny. That's the sound of the sun beaming on your neck. Rain right here. Okay, no thunder, just rain. You got snow, blistering winds and snow. And a nice windy day. Okay, now these are all stock animations. So if I gotta pick a UI, and not only just because of the weather, but especially now that HTC stepped up their themes, they got a lot more themes. The S6, you do have themes also, but it's a lot better. You're gonna have a better and more fun experience playing with the themes and playing with a lot of the settings. And it's just a more smooth UI. Now, I gotta take my hat off to Samsung. This is the best version of TouchWiz ever. All right, and y'all know I had every Samsung phone that hit the market. This is the best version of Samsung TouchWiz to date. When it comes to the lagging and all that, we'll talk about that later. But now I'm just going with HTC Sense. I love it. It's simple, clean, beautiful, and it always works. It always works. So that's the important part. Next, features. Which phone has more features? Now, this is important. When you're spending your money, if you're going to spend $700 on a brand new phone, you want to have a lot of the features that other people have. The last thing you want to be doing is getting into a phone debate or a phone war, like I like to call it, with somebody, and they pull out their phone and they want to shut you down, and they start talking about features, and your phone can't do nothing. Now, when it comes to the features, I'm going with the S6 Edge. Why? Clearly, because first of all, you got the fingerprint scanner. So that's an automatic major feature. And the fingerprint scanner, you're talking about a fingerprint scanner that actually works. Here's my S6, right? A fingerprint scanner that actually works 99.9% of the time. Okay, so this is Samsung's best fingerprint scanner, and that's a nice feature to have. You also got heart rate monitor. You also got real multitasking with the split screens. So you got a lot more features. And now if we're talking about S6 Edge, then you definitely got more features because you got your swipe and you got your, your people tab right here. Hit one button. Let's do that again. Hit one button. Say I want to call my daughter. I could just call her. Or I could send her a message. When you get missed calls, you're gonna have another tab. You swipe it over. Once you start using it, you can't live without it, and you're gonna love it. Okay, so you got way more features, more stuff to play with. Okay, so I'm going with the S6 Edge. M9, no slouch. Don't get me wrong. M9 is definitely not a slouch, but let's just do the math. No fingerprint scanner, fingerprint scanner. No heart rate monitor, heart rate monitor. Dual screen, multitask, 2 screens at once. None on this. All right, so it is what it is. Next, now that we just talked about that, let's talk about multitasking. Which phone are you going to get more multitasking work done with? And that's another landslide right here. I'm going with the HTC, with the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge and the S6, because when you want to multitask on your M9, say I want to go to the web, I could go to the web. Now I want to go to Amazon real quick. Let's go to Amazon. Let me open up an Amazon window. Let me see. Do I have that Amazon app? All right. Say we have Amazon right here. Now I want to go back to the web. I got to hit that button and go back. Now I want to go back to Amazon, hit the button and go back. Is it a big deal? No. You're basically just hitting the button. Not a big deal. But when you got your S6 Edge, right, and I want to multitask, now say I want to go to Amazon, I could pop open Amazon on the top, and I could pop open a website on the bottom. Okay, so now I could be browsing. I was looking at hotel rooms. I could be browsing hotel rooms and just switch over and continue shopping on Amazon. Same time, split screen, and you hit the button. Let's minimize this. We can switch this for. Matter of fact, I already talked about this in the real review. I'm not going to get into all that too much, but one thing I do like to do is to just close it out and have that little bubble right there. That little floating app right there. Now that was my last use Google Chrome page. So while I'm doing other stuff, I could just hit that and open up a little Chrome window right here. And now that's real multitasking. Okay, so multitasking, it's a straight landslide. I'm going with the S6 Edge. Next, lag factor. Now this is important. Okay, this is one of the main things that I hate, that I always gripe about when it comes to phones and tablets and just all kind of computer gadgets. I hate lag. I hate it with a passion. So which phone has the least amount of lag? Well, you just heard me say I got to take my hat off to Samsung. This is their best version of TouchWiz. This is the least laggiest Samsung phone I had yet. Now this is stock. Now you could take any Samsung phone, a Note 3, and you could root it and drop a clean ROM on it, and it'll be lag free. but most people don't know about rooting or don't want to worry about the, warranty and all that, or just, had a bad experience. Maybe you tried to root your phone and you bricked it, or you rooted your phone and it never worked the same after that, or you put on a ROM and now you lost some features and all that. Some people just don't want to deal with it. So if we're talking about stock versus stock, okay, this is the best Samsung phone yet when it comes to the no lag factor, but still every now and then you get a hiccup. All right, I get a hiccup. This is the least amount of, this phone has the least amount of resets. Okay, I had to reset all of my Samsung phones. I end up resetting once every other day or just resetting every morning just so I don't have to deal with it. But when it comes to the lag factor, I'm going to say the HTC One M9 is one of my favorite phones. Okay, this phone has zero lag and I hit it hard. Matter of fact, if you see, I always got 1,000 windows. Okay, I'll just close a few, but I always got 1,000 windows open at the same time. I never close out my apps, all right, because you don't have to. You don't have to worry about what's running in the background, what's going to slow down the phone. This phone is always fast. It's always lag free. And that's important to a lot of people. All right, that's very important. It's important to me too. That's one of the reasons why I stopped using, my Note 4 as much as I used to, because when it starts lagging out, I get annoyed. And it always seems to lag at that one moment when you don't need your phone to lag. You ever get a phone call and you go to, you open the screen and you're trying to answer the phone call and the phone is stuck on a different screen or something, and now you missed the call? Little stuff like that. Little teeny things like that. Or if I open the app and I quickly back out to look at something else and you got that long pause, I can't stand that. All right, so HTC 19. When I say 19, I mean the M9. I say that a lot. I say the 19. Y'all know live videos, no editing allowed. Y'all know how we do. All right, so when it comes to lag factor, I'm going with the 19, otherwise known as HTC One M9. Next, now this is a word I just made up for this video. Newness. All right, newness. What does that mean? Well, when you get in a new phone, you had an old phone. So now you got to upgrade to get this new phone. So now I'm speaking directly to the people who had an S5 or M8. Okay, now if you had an S5 or M8 and you're ready to upgrade, which one is going to give you more of that new phone feel? Now this is extremely important. Think about it like this when you go to buy a car. If you got a 2001 BMW, you're not going to trade it in for a 2002 with the same body. You're not going to do that. Most people ain't going to do that. All right, unless there's some major engine work or something crazy going on that you can't really tell. Otherwise, when it's body style, you don't trade the body style that you got now for the next year with the same body. You'll wait a couple of years so you get a new body shape so everybody know you got the new one. And it's pretty similar to that when it comes to phones. Look at your iPhone 5S, and then when your iPhone 6 came out, you got a new phone. You got used to using your iPhone 5 and all that. Once the iPhone 6 came out, now you had a bigger phone with a different feel to it, a different look to it, and you had a new phone, a new toy. Well, when it comes to newness, I'm going with the S6 and the S6 Edge for upgrades. Now, if you had an HTC One M8 and you got an M9, y'all heard me gripe about this in the video, it felt like I bought the same phone twice. All right, the phone, if it wasn't for the non-camera on the top right here, when you lay your phone face down on the table and somebody puts an M8 right next to it, you really can't see the difference without looking at the sides and noticing that the button placement is a little bit different. Other than that, it's pretty much like having the same phone twice. Now, for me, that's kind of important. Especially people that keep their phone longer than me. Now, I don't really keep phones that long, but imagine you had your phone for maybe a year and a half now, going on 2 years. Now it's time to upgrade. Do you want to go out and trade that in and get the same exact looking phone, even though it has newer processor, better camera, but it just looks and feels the same? You don't really want that unless you absolutely love the M8 and you just, you one of those people that say, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If that's your mentality, then you want the same phone twice. But most people, especially when it comes to tech and new toys and products and all that, you want to have the latest and greatest, and you want everybody to know you got the latest and greatest. So if you had an S5 and you upgraded to an S6, it's a big difference. It's night and day. All right, it's totally night and day. Better fingerprint scanner, better build quality to it, the glass back. Just if you hold the S5 and the S6 in your hand, nobody has to tell you which is the newer phone. You'll know. If you hold the M9 and the M8 in your hand, you're not gonna know which is the newest one. All right, so newness. When it comes to newness, I'm going with the S6 Edge and the S6. I like when I spend my money, I like to feel like I got something new. All right, I hate spending money and buying something that I already had. Okay, I don't like doing that. Next, now this is another important category to me, reliability. Okay, which phone is just all around more reliable? That means if it's a dark night, I'm outside walking through some hood somewhere that, I'm unfamiliar with, and I'm something crazy going down, and I need to pull out my phone and I need to check some directions. I need to pull out my phone and make a phone call. I need to pull out my phone and take a picture of something. Which phone that in the back of my mind do I know when I go in my pocket, that phone is going to work? I'm not going to have to worry about, is the phone going to lag out? Is it going to be a hiccup? Is it going to get stuck on the frozen home screen? Am I going to accidentally double tap the home button and now I can't go back to my screen for a couple of seconds? Which phone is just all around more reliable? I'm going clearly with the HTC One M9. Now, when I say clearly, that's just from my personal opinion, because I've been in a lot of situations where I have both of these phones on me, and a lot of times I'll just automatically gravitate toward the M9 because I know it's going to work. Now, chances are the S6 Edge, like I said, it's the best Samsung phone yet, so it will definitely work. But just from personal experience, I'm going with the M9. It's just all around more reliable. Battery lasts me longer during the day, so it's just more reliable to me. And when I'm doing stuff and I close out an app and open another app, that one closes out, the next one pops open immediately. Okay, no problems at all. So reliability, I'm going with the M9. Next, ease of use. Okay, which phone is easy to use? Now, if you're a tech head, it don't matter. They all the same. But say, for instance, you're about to buy your pops a new phone or your mom's a new phone, and they're not really into tech. Maybe they had the same phone for the last 6 years. They don't care about the new OS. They don't care about the new cameras and all that. Maybe they finally broke their phone that they didn't want to get rid of, and you're going to be a nice son or a nice daughter, and you're going to buy them a new phone. Mother's Day's coming right around the corner. You want to buy them a nice gift, but you're worried about, are they going to be able to use it? All right, the last thing you want to do is get somebody who's not into tech a really high-tech gadget, because chances are they're not going to like it. They're not going to like it even if it's free. They're not going to like it because people don't want to learn too much new stuff, especially after you got comfortable using your old phone. So which phone is easier to use? Let me just turn this one off for a second. Which phone is easier to use? Well, when it comes to ease of use, I would say the HTC One M9. It's just all around easier. When you go to your settings menu, everything is right there. You don't have to go searching for stuff. There's not a whole lot of features on it that the average person doesn't know what is. Like smart stay and screen pause and all that stuff. That's stuff that you have to learn. Okay, now if you want to buy somebody a phone who's not really into tech, and just want to give them a phone that they could just activate and use easily, or if you're buying it for a little kid, then you get them an HTC phone. It's a lot easier to use, a lot less learning curve. Now, if you're a tech head, you don't want ease of use. You want the more features. You want the more high-tech phone. You don't mind sitting around playing with the phone for an extra hour every day, learning all the features. You don't care about that. All right, so we know that the S6 has more features and more stuff. But if I got to pick one for ease of use, I'm going with the HTC One M9. Next. Now, this is another important category to me. I know I keep saying that. Accessories. Which phone has more accessories available? Now, HTC, this is a flagship phone. This is a really popular phone this year. So there is a lot of accessories on the market. Y'all seen me do a whole bunch of cases and stuff already. It's a lot of accessories on the market. But this is another landslide victory right here for the S6 and the S6 Edge. Way more accessories out on the market, and we're not just talking about cases and screen protectors. Okay, now if you go out and buy yourself a Samsung S6 or S6 Edge, you could actually get probably the best accessory on the market right now, which is this, a Gear watch to go with it. Okay, now you could buy another Android Wear watch and use it with your HTC One M9. You could do that. But if you want to be a true boss, everybody knows your stuff got to be uniform. Right? If you want to be a real beast, everybody who has an iPhone 6, they're going to get an iWatch because you want to just be Team Apple all day. Now, look, I'm just talking shit. I know people have no problem buying an LG watch and using it with a Sony phone. It doesn't really matter, but I don't roll like that. All right, now, if I got a flagship Samsung phone, I want the flagship Samsung watch. I want the Samsung Gear Circle as my Bluetooth headphones. I want the Samsung Level as my over-the-air headphones. I got a little Samsung media player. So you just like to keep everything uniform. Hit me up in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. It's not a big deal, but when it comes to accessories, it's not a big deal. I say that, but it is a big deal for me. It's a big deal for me. I'm the type of dude, if I'm wearing a pair of Jordans, I'm wearing some Jordan socks. I'm not wearing Adidas socks and Reebok sneakers. I don't do that. I like when stuff matches, and a lot of people out there feel the same way as I do. Okay, so when it comes to accessories, now even if you want to take it back to cases, you're gonna find way more cases and way more a larger variety of cases and accessories for your S6 and your S6 Edge as opposed to your M9. Why? Because marketing. This is on TV everywhere. Everybody knows this is the big, this is the next big thing. Everybody knows. So all these companies are making accessories for it. Now the M9, people not really sure how it's going to sell. People not really sure if HTC might even be around next year. So they, a lot of these companies, they made a few cases for it and that's it. But when you go look on Amazon for S6 cases, you'll see 1 million. If you put in HTC M9, you'll see 1,000. All right, it's a big difference. So when it comes to accessories, I'm going with the S6 and the S6 Edge. Next, fun. Okay, this is a simple category. Which phone is more fun? Now, keep in mind, you're not only using this phone for business purposes. You're not only using it to make phone calls and send emails. You want to have fun with your phone. Which phone are you going to have more fun with? Well, I'm going with the S6 Edge. Now, you're going to have fun with your M9 because when you go to the camera options, you got Zoe, you got the speakers on the front. So if you're having a little card game or something and nobody has the Bluetooth speakers, nobody got, no kind of accessories, you could just take the phone, put it on the table, play some music, get a little, back alley card game, little dice game, whatever you're doing. You're going to have a lot of fun with this. But me personally, I'm picking the S6 and the S6 Edge. I have way more fun with. With the multi-windows open at the same time, that means I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Tag team beast mode. You got the swipe features with the Edge. It's just you got more stuff to do. You got Smart Stay and Screen Awake and all of these, some people want to call them gimmicky features, whatever, but it's just more stuff to play with. All right, and you got your fingerprint scanner. That's something fun to play with. Nobody could just get in your phone and, something good to show people. And you got your heart rate monitor. You walk up that 6th flight of stairs and you want to keep track of your health. You want to see how, if going to the gym is paying off or not. If you're getting in shape, start taking your heart rate every day. And you got the S Health app to go, the S Health app to go with it. I got tongue tied for a minute. That's just a lot more fun stuff. This is just an all-around more fun phone to me, in my opinion. Your opinion might be different. If you're looking for a phone to have fun with, though, and keep in mind, a big part of having fun is playing around with the camera, taking pictures and slow motion videos and all that stuff. And if you're gonna do that, why not have a better camera to do it with? All right, now if you take some videos at night with your HTC M9. When you get home and play those videos again, it's just gonna be mad dark unless you're in a really lit area. But if you're out in the street at night, it's gonna be very dark and you're not gonna see the picture as well as you'll see it on your S6 Edge and your S6. All right, so when I'm going with fun, I'm going with the S6. Next, bang for your buck. All right, we're getting ready to get up out of here too. I know this video is kind of long. Which phone is gonna give you more bang for your buck? Okay, now you're dropping down $700 and change on a phone. You want the phone to do everything that other phones are doing on the market. You want to get the most bang for your buck. Well, I'm going to go with the S6 Edge and the S6. Again, back to the fingerprint scanner, back to the better camera, back to the multitasking. Just back to all of the other little gimmicky features that you got to learn and you'll start to appreciate them. You're getting more bang for your buck. The last thing you want to do is spend $650 on a phone, and now me and you hanging out, and we want to take some pictures at night, and now you don't feel comfortable, or you take some pictures and they not that great, and I got some banging pictures I'm posting on the gram, and my pictures looking all crispy and nice, and we both basically paid the same price for the phone. You don't want to do that. I'm talking about right now specifically S6, X6, and M9. Now the Edge, yeah, you pay a little bit more money, but you're getting even more bang. Okay, and you're getting even more bang for that extra $100. Why? Because of my last category right now, and we'll talk about that real quick. The last category is the floss factor. All right, now if you don't know what the floss factor is, we went through this a bunch of times. All that means is the wow factor. Which phone has more of the wow factor? Which phone is more flashy? You know, if you're one of those people, you want to have the latest and greatest, and you want people to know. Don't look. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Like, a lot of people think that that's arrogant, or, you know, whatever. If you want people to know that you got the best, there's nothing wrong with that. You work hard, you deserve the best, and you want people to know that. Look, I worked hard. That's why I got the best. So, which phone is more flashy? Which phone, when you pull out, is everybody going to say, okay, yeah, he got the top of the line, or is everybody going to say, okay, that's nice. I don't really care about that too much, but let me see that. Well, the S6 Edge right here is one of my top 3 most flashiest phones out. Now, I've been everywhere with this phone, out of the country, all in the country, in the gym, in the movies, in the bar. Every time I'm talking to somebody and I pull out my phone, they want to see it. Now, there's times I have both phones on me, and people not really too interested in the M9. They don't really care about that too much. But everybody wants to see the Edge. Everybody wants to know what's all the hype about. And then once they actually, you know, start using it and see it. Now, even though the Edge is not too functional, not the most functional Edge in the world, you do got this. That's pretty much all I use it for. But when you're holding it and looking at it, especially when you watching videos and stuff, that little bit of an edge makes a huge difference. Also, let me show you one thing real quick. Let me activate this on the side. Talk amongst yourself for a second. Okay. When you open your Edge window, when you got your phone laying down flat, and now you got your Edge up like this, this is boss status right here. All right. Now let me scroll up a little bit. Oh, I got my phone on airplane mode, but you would see weather and news actually scrolling across the screen. Okay, so if you're in a dark place, or you got your phone on the table at somebody's house and it's just running like that, and you got the night clock on, it's just a nice touch to give you that extra boss status, extra James Bond status, and y'all know that's what I'm all about. I like to be the #1 tech dude on the scene wherever I go. All right, that's my goal. So if you want to have the most flashiest phone, you want to be able to shut people down in phone wars, because this is more of a guy thing. A lot of girls do this too, but this is more of a guy thing. When we finish playing basketball at the gym or whatever, and somebody pull out their phone and start talking trash, you get into these big Android versus Apple wars and all of that. Well, my phone could do this, my phone could do that, blah 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 blah. S6 Edge is the flashiest one right now. All right, you shutting down the iPhone, you shutting down the M9, you shutting down the Nexus 6. Only person that you really not shutting down is somebody that got a Note Edge, because they got an Edge too, even though they don't have dual edges. They got an Edge too, but they also got an S Pen, and on their Edge, they doing a lot more stuff than you doing on your Edge. All right, so just between these two, I would pick the S6, but if I want the #1 flashiest phone, I'm going with the Note 4 Edge. Okay, I'm dying to see if they make a Note 5 Edge with 2 edges like this. That's going to be a game changer for me. With an S Pen and functional edges, that's going to be sick. All right, so that was my last category right there. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. What's your favorite phone out? All right, now, if I had to pick one of the two, now, let me just answer this question real quick. If I had to pick one of the two, if I got to run out the house right now, I can only take one phone with me. I got to pick one of these phones to walk out the door with. Which one would it be? And it would definitely be the S6. Definitely. Now, even though I said the battery's a little bit better on the M8 and the speakers, but the chances are for me when I'm out, I like taking pictures, and just in case I run into somebody, I want to shut them down with a phone war. I like to have the Edge on deck. This is the newest and the biggest and brightest. This is just the new thing right now. All right, so if I had to pick one, I would go with the S6 Edge as the phone I'd walk out the door with. Let me know in the comments which I would take. Now, look, if I had to pick only one phone out of everything that I got in the house to walk out the door with, it wouldn't be either one of these. It wouldn't be either one of these. It would be between the Nexus 6 and my Note 4 Edge. That's another battle that we could have. If y'all want to do the same categories in that battle, hit me up. We could do that. If not, I think we all know that I like the Note 4 Edge, pretty much as my favorite phone. The Note 4 Edge is actually my favorite phone. Now, look, the video's over. Right, the video's over. This is just me talking shit to my hardcore subscribers. The Note 4 is pretty much my favorite phone. The Note 4 Edge, pretty much my favorite phone. But it's funny because I actually use the Nexus 6 more than the Note 4 Edge. So during the course of the day, half of the day I got my Nexus 6 in my hand just because it's a bigger phone. It's a bigger phone and it's a louder phone. All right, because I'm outside and I'm watching YouTube videos outside. I need to hear them. You know, I don't always have my Bluetooth headset in. You know, or you're showing somebody a video or something. The Nexus 6 I use more than my Note 4 Edge, but my Note 4 Edge is still my favorite phone that I got right now out of all of my phones. All right, so that's what it is. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to get into next. Matter of fact, it's still early. I got to go to work at like 6 o'clock in the morning, so I got a little bit more time. What I'm going to do is my next video, I'm gonna show y'all my favorite 5 gym headphones, because I got a lot of requests to do that during the Amazon Warrior video in the stream. So I'm going to make that video real quick, and we'll keep it moving, all right? Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the Amazon Warrior on Sundays. Y'all already know, Stream Gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. This last stream was mad fun. Even though, you know, I had the kitty size Ciroc bottle. Now, let me just talk about that real quick. People didn't listen. I mentioned it in the video that I actually sent somebody to the store to get that for me. I told them to buy me a bottle of Ciroc, and they bought me the kitty size. They probably thought, you know, that's all I can handle. I don't know. All right, so all y'all jokesters out there, shout out to the savages. All right, shout out to all my savages out there. I'm a savage too. Y'all had no mercy on me, and I respect that. All right, I respect that. A lot of y'all cats called me out for buying that little small bottle of Ciroc. Y'all called me out, and I needed to be called out for that. I respect that. I respect that. All right. Anyway, oh yeah, almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss. I'm out. Deuces.